chose Christopher, all of us were unanimous in choosing Christopher. We would like to tell you, there was only one choice. There was only one vote. All of us singularly voted for you and selected. It is Christopher who should be selected as a master. To select a master, you don't have to think twice. To recognize a master, you got to think thrice. To understand the master, any number of thinking is not enough. We understood you. This is something like reading a poetry. This is something like reading a passage. A poetry, you read the lines. You understand in between the lines. And we think beyond the lines. Christopher, we understood your work. And we are thinking beyond that. We are yet to assimilate that thing, your creativity, your originality, yours and Sanjay was par excellence. It's a lesson for us. I thank, on behalf of architects community, J.K. Cement, Mr. Singhania in particular, and I cannot but mention Mr. Rewal. Systematic, clean follow-up, wonderful host, and fantastic friend. We will always cherish our memory working with you for the J.K. Cement and your team. We place on record, on behalf of all the architects who are present here, to J.K. Cement, you are doing commendable service to Society of Architects, Individual Architects, and Council of Architects, and other architects association of the other neighboring countries. We would like to place on record our appreciation to you. Thank you very much. Let this beautiful work, wonderful work continue. May God bless you. Thank you.
The Great Master Award. The award is presented to architect Christopher Charles Benninger, Pune. The award consists of prize money of rupees 1 lakh, trophy and citation. He is born in USA in 1942. Professor Christopher Charles Benninger has lived and worked in India for past 30 years. Studied city planning in MIT Cambridge and architecture at Harvard University. Fellow of Council of Architecture, India and Indian Institute of Architects, member of AIA and APA. He founded the School of Urban Planning at CEPT Ahmedabad in 1971 and the Center for Development Studies in Pune in 1976. He has won Designer of the Year Award in 1999, American Institute of Architects Award 2000 and IIA Award Pune. He was the youngest architect to win Golden Architect of the Year Award instituted by AD Magazine in the year 2007 for lifetime contribution to the field of architecture. Currently based at Pune, he is working on the new campus for IIM Calcutta, Sahara ME Valley School, Suzlon Corporate Headquarters, Stonewall School in Bangalore and several others. One of his most important current assignments is designing of new National Secretariat, 10 ministry buildings, Supreme Court of UNDP House in Thimphu, Bhutan. Professor Benninger has been the advisor of the World Bank, UNO and Asian Development Bank on development projects in Asia and Africa. He is a distinguished architect, planner, institution builder and a writer. His works have been published widely in international and national books and magazines. So, Mr. Benninger is here. Please, big hand for him. May I request the great master architect, Christopher Charles Benninger, to enlighten us about his experience, about his thoughts with us. Please, sir. I would like to request Mr. Benninger to share his views, his thoughts, and to enlighten us with his experience about architecture. Please, sir.
Now, as you see, I came prepared to say something, so I shouldn't pretend like I'm surprised that Mr. Rewal told me to say a few words. The first thing I want to do is thank my friends, the jury members, especially for their kind words. It's always nice to know kind people in these days of difficult times, so we certainly have wonderful jury members. People have mentioned Mr. Rewal, and he's, in my opinion, a perfect person. I've never seen him do anything that wasn't just right in the years that he's been running this competition. Mr. Gupta, it was very kind of you to come and join our profession. We're honored by having you here. I've saved for the last a few words to our host, Mr. Sangania, because in life, as an architect, we have a lot of clients, we deal with a lot of people, but I think sitting before us is a true patron of architecture. And that's very unusual in this world. I think let's give him a big hand because of Mr. Sangania, we're all here together. And as you know, it's occasions like this that really create a fellowship and a sense of community amongst us who are professionals. Now I'm going to give a small talk that I prepared because I think it's an important occasion in my life. So I would like to put a few words down. My eyesight is not terribly good these days, so you have to pardon me because I think I'll read it without these glasses. It's easier to see without them. For an architect, receiving the Great Masters Award is a watershed in his career. It is a rite of passage few can imagine. First of all, it is an honor bestowed by one's fellow senior architects who are articulate critics as well as cautious admirers. Second, this award is a unique one. Over the past 2 decades, very few architects have received this accolade, and those who did truly embrace the great masters of South Asia. They include such names as Laurie Baker, Geoffrey Bawa, Achutkan Vinde, Charles Correa, Balkrishna Doshi, Raj Rewal, and others equally well known. Who could dare to enter into such a pantheon of iconic creative personalities? I feel humbled by the very thought. All of these men were truly masters of our art. They understood that modern architecture was not just an act, thank you, an act of creating bizarre and exotic, strange forms, but that modern architecture is a social art bound within technology. They understood that it is also an ethical art, thank you, okay, an ethical art wherein there is a truth in its processes and there must be honesty of expression to achieve transcendence. In many ways, architecture is a search for the truth of a building within its setting and context. All of these former awardees fought against false ideas and bad architecture. I reject postmodernism as a frivolous enigma and self-fulfilling ideology of personal aggrandizement. I see my personal agenda as a mere continuation of a great tradition set out by the masters who went before me back into the annals of history. I was fortunate enough to have great teachers like Walter Gropius, Jerzy Sultan, Jose Luis Sert, Kevin Lynch, Doshi, and Fumiko Make, who laid out a strict path of struggle and self-realization. They set out an agenda which I beseech all of you to make yours too. It is a mission worth our endeavors, our fellowship, and our professional commitment. It includes an agenda of 3 thrusts. First, the modern movement is focused on the social issues of urbanization, mass housing, and public institutions that create a civil society. A modern architect is an urbanist in this broad sense. His work must contribute to its context, be a part of its milieu, and make life better for the neighborhood within which it participates. Buildings cannot turn their backs on their neighbors, be arrogant, or be absurdly selfish. Second, buildings must be true to the technology, materials, and craftspeople from which they emerge. Materials must be expressed honestly, and the technology must be appropriate to the context within which it was created. Modern architecture, since the 19th century, architects have explored new materials and technologies, but nestled them within local conditions. Finally, modern architects are crusaders, spokespersons, and even revolutionaries in their fight against defeatism and deceit. In India today, we are bombarded with false architecture cut from bad buildings in the West and painted into Indian environments ruthlessly and carelessly. Most of this crime is committed under the false ideology of postmodernism that is in fact a creed of greed and self-aggrandizement. It is the craft of anal, retentive, screaming and yelling babies out for attention. There is a wild grabbing for FSI with no concern for the creation of public spaces, human experiences, and the making of a good life for the common man. Reject this. Speak out against this. All of our modern agendas should lead us towards more natural, more appropriate, and more local styles. The blind imitation of Western fads must come to an end. Modern Indian architecture must also be regional architecture, emerging from the climate, local materials, local traditions, and crafts. I was very pleased to see the work from our fellow architects in Bangladesh and in Sri Lanka. I think we in India have a huge amount to learn from them. Their sensitive use of materials, integration with landscape and context is really amazing, and I congratulate you that you're fellows with us. The rise of media and of science has propelled us into the straitjackets of specialized disciplines. The further we advance in knowledge, the less clearly we can see either the world around us or understand ourselves. We have plunged into what Milan Kundera has called the forgetting of being. True modernism is an era when the passion to know became the essence of spirituality. The essence of modern architecture is to explore that which only a piece of architecture can discover. A building which does not express some unknown segment of existence is immoral. Revealing truth is architecture's only reality. The sequence of discovery, not the sum total of what is built, is what constitutes the history of modern architecture. It is only in such a cross-cultural historical context that the value of any work can be fully revealed and understood. Now, my life as an architect, 90% of my work ended up in the trash can of my dreams. Some work survived in the form of models and drawings made to scale. What got built was a mere fraction of my life's effort. When people praise that small evidence of my truth, I feel very nice, especially when my friend was speaking so nicely today. When they garland me and call me a great master, I feel humbled, yet elated. All of those trash can dreams get reborn and come to life again with new meaning. Friends, with these few words, I thank you for the great honor that you have bestowed on me tonight. Thank you very much.